Like a refrigerator box or an oven box?
There, all done. Thank you. Wait, Lisa.
Don't worry, I rap a lot neater than I look.
It's kind of funny, Slater becomes a major source of physical humor, or physical comedy later in the series run. He's always over-animated, overacting, botching things,
Oh, yeah.
breaking shit.
She just gave me a headache.
There you go. One Christmas bow coming right up.
It's beautiful.
No, it's not.
Thank you, mister.
You're welcome.
I'll see you at the hospital. at
Thank you,
6.
creepy homeless guy. What are you here for?
Crap is not for me. Thanks for helping. Now, what can I do for you, sir?
Well, I was wondering if you'd give me some of those scraps that you're throwing away.
Tell you what, I'll do better than that.
I'll waste my employer's money.
Here you go.
Thanks, but you sure you won't get into trouble?
Nah, I'll waste more than that wrapping a ring. Hey, when you buy your gift, I'll wrap it for you.
Thanks, but I'd seen you in action.
Why does the homeless guy want scraps?
Why is he so tired? Well, I mean, he wants to wrap a present for Laura. I mean, underlying this whole really callous portrayal of homeless people, there is a sincere kind of story thread to this guy. He's providing for his daughter. She's trying to help him. He still wants to make a good Christmas for her, but he doesn't have the means to. I mean, that's all good.
Look, I think someone's lying on the ground.
Oh my god.
Hey guys, look who it is. Oh no. Come on, let's help him. Come on, excuse me, back up.
Is he still alive? I don't know. Are you okay? Screech, call 911.
Right, what's the number?
Man, 911 is the number. Call it quick.
Leave it to Saved by the Bell to play for laughs while a homeless guy's passed out in the fucking linoleum at the mall.
He is sprawled out. Like, it just shows that homeless people in malls don't mix. And mall security should have removed him. Like, that's basically what they're getting across here, right?
Oh, there's Paul Blart.
All right, move, I got you.
Like,
So wait, the security guard comes up with the first aid kit, and Slater's like, no, I got this.
what are they gonna do with a first aid kit? Like, spray his eyes or something? Spray some first aid cream on him?
We're Japanese people. You never see them in Saved by the Bell.
Oh, that's true. You never ever do.
It's incredible.
Well, I'm out of here in 5 minutes.
So since there isn't Twitter, Laura doesn't know about her dad passing out yet,
Thinking about
but she's sure to find out shortly.
I can't believe he took me to see Santa Claus.
I'm surprised he didn't make you sit on his knee.
That's weird. She said knee, when clearly she meant penis.
Chat up for the next pajama party.
I'm sorry, Mr. Moody. Laura was just showing me a picture of Santa Claus.
The fat guy in red. He's got a cholesterol problem.
It's a very insightful observation there.
Can I ask you something,
You just did. Now get back to work.
please? I know we just started, but can I be in the Christmas play too?
No.
You're homeless.
You'll be working.
That guy's really,
Everyone wants me to be generous just because it's Christmas.
really rude.
Who needs to go see a Christmas Carol? We got our own Scrooge here.
Boy, I'm glad she said it, because I was about to.
Hi, guys.
It really speaks my mind.
And right after she gets yelled at, she goes straight back to fucking consorting with her
Homeless
friends.
person I met
And
this
fucking
morning.
off.
He passed out in the mall today.
What happened to him? Is he okay?
I don't know. They took him to the hospital.
Well, we better get to the hospital ourselves.
You know, Lisa's waiting for us to give out gifts. That's right. See you, Laura.
Bye.
Can I bum a ride?
That's a pretty big smile for knowing that her dad just got sent to the hospital.
Yeah, I mean, she's still been able to hide it this whole time, but it's really becoming increasingly improbable that that would be possible.
And I'm not really sure what the point is.
Of her hiding it?
Yeah, like
She
I guess
thinks
it's shame.
Zach
blah,
won't
blah,
like
blah,
her, yeah.
But
I mean, she could just ask Zach for money. He's got plenty. But it might make the whole sexual tension a little bit different if he's paying her.
Place right on top. Right there. There you go. I told you to do it.
It's really sad, and I mean, this is a two-parter. We're building up to the big, cliffhanger being, this is my dad. I am homeless. You know?
yeah,
I mean, that's all this really is building towards, and we already know it, so it's sort of pointless to divide it in two and do it that way. I mean, all we have really that we're waiting for is the characters' responses to her dad being homeless, and unless they're complete jerks, they're going to say, oh, that's no big deal.
well, Zach might be like, well, I'm going to have to go with my backup, Dina Garrison.
Mrs. Claus?
Exactly.
She wants to stay at the North Pole, and I told her I was coming to California.
As soon as this party's over, I'm taking this slate to the beach.
And yet again, these kids are showing off their complete opulence. I mean, they've got these costumes that rent or buy costs them at least $50.
She kissed me. Santa finally gave me what I asked for.
They're just strolling around in front of a bunch of sick kids.
Yeah, but the whole thing is between $50 and $150.
Yeah, man, this episode sucks.
But they're at every turn they're just showing off their wealth. They're really, really flashy, and you contrast it with Laura, who can't afford lunch.
There you go.
I mean, it kind of gets the point across, maybe, but that's probably not the intention. They just always seem to have this magical money to spend when it's whether it's a school production or a dinner at the Max.
Yeah, Slater manhandling a little child is pretty funny.
It is funny. It's a good visual. I really have nothing to say about this. They're just playing around with kids in a hospital.
Our party. You know, Zach, I can't remember a Christmas where I've had more fun and didn't get a thing.
Hey, well, Santa will fix that.
Why is he hiding? Oh, god damn it.
Hey, guys. Hey, let's go visit that homeless guy. Yeah, good idea.
That is line of the episode, in case you couldn't hear it. Hey guys, let's go visit the homeless guy, says Slater, and they're all like, yeah, let's do it.
So am I, but here they're either married or sick.
This guy who collapsed in the Bayside Mall today.
Oh, him. Nice, but too old for me. In the East Wing, room 306.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Mindy is a
Normally,
hornsed up broad.
yeah, she is. But, I mean, wouldn't she actually say, why do you want to go visit a homeless person, Zach?
Not a homeless person. The homeless person.
Yeah, why do you want to visit the homeless? This whole thing is, like I said, increasingly ridiculous that Zach would involve himself in this guy's life in the way that he has.
I'm just gonna say it, now that they made it snow in the children's ward, like, Mindy is really enjoying getting a bunch of white stuff all over her face, sprayed from above.
And this snow that they've got falling, these fake shavings, putting that all together so it evenly distributes from the ceiling all across the children's ward, what does that cost? I mean, I know in the episode where they did that, the final project of their stupid school thing at the Max, I was totally up how much it all cost. This was a really expensive party.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have bought a suit for the guy with this party.
Wait. She just said her name was Mindy and now it's Monique.
Oh, did she say Mindy?
Yeah, she did.
You might have wanted it to be Mindy.
Zach said, thanks, Mindy.
Oh, did he? Fuck.
He's my father.
Cat's out of the bag.
What?
What?
She's like, he's my father. What?
Are you fucking kidding me?
He seemed really angry. I mean, well, so we can stop the tape here. and-
Wait, hold on. Reverse that for 1 second.
Yeah.
Santa Claus as himself is one of the credits.
Yeah, that's a nice touch.
Nice touch. Sure.
I mean, especially because the target audience of this show was probably like ages 5 to 10. Here we are in the late 20s, early 30s, reviewing it as though it was never intended to be done. But yeah, for those kids, yeah, it was really Santa Claus, and she really made a wish. I mean, that's probably, I was complaining about the fact that she was talking to Santa Claus and asking for something, but a good portion of the kids who were watching this show wouldn't have known whether Santa's real or not, so they should expect an adult or any human to behave as though he is. So I don't know, we just finished that up. What are your final thoughts on the episode before we go on to part 2?
Final thoughts on the episode. It was a whole lot of just basically setting up. Nothing really happened in the episode. It set up the fact that Zach is afraid of homeless people and doesn't understand their plight. He doesn't need to have a job, so he doesn't understand what it's like to have to scrape $2 bills together. Screech is in the same boat, and so is Lisa. Meanwhile, Slater and Jesse are terrible at their jobs, and Kelly works retail. None of them really seem to have any concern whatsoever about anything other than themselves. Whether that's intentional or not, or it's just a product of the way the show is going at that point. Now they're finally confronted with the idea of someone who can't make ends meet, and who can't even afford to eat breakfast.
And they're on cruise control. I mean, they're going through their lives, they're going to their student jobs, but they clearly are throwing money around. And it's not that they're completely absorbed in their own selves. Kelly, just as an aside, asks Laura if she wants anything, and Laura refuses.
Yeah, and I guess they do go volunteer at the hospital, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it's this sort of weird, almost as if they're doing it for themselves.
Yeah.
Lisa makes the comment, I haven't had so much fun at Christmas in my entire life.
Their generosity allows them to have a great time with their friends. And
Right.
feel good about themselves.
Right.
Which is kind of, I mean, it's a good, well, it couldn't have been intentional at all, but that's a lot of what charity ends up being.
Yeah, that's not what they were going for, but that is definitely what it's all about.
So yeah, as you said, the whole episode building up to this, the cliffhanger that, oh, whoa, what the fuck? The homeless guy that collapsed in the mall is your dad?
Yeah, the brand new, only other new character in the episode is somehow related
Who
to
I took an immeasurably large interest in his life, given the fact that he's not related to me whatsoever and won't be. And now I happen to be at the hospital and I'm going to go cruise by his room. First of all, why is he laid up in the hospital? Is he horribly nutritionally deficient?
Yeah,
or,
maybe. But
or is
okay,
he
so
dehydrated?
let's break this episode down real quick. Pretend that Laura is a character that doesn't exist. She's not there. Okay, for
Yeah.
1 second.
Totally.
What happens is Zach meets this homeless guy, takes an incredible interest in him, and like gives him money, worries about his well-being, sees him collapsed, goes to the hospital and visits him in the hospital to see how he's doing.
Yeah.
Right? That in and of itself is weird. Now you add Laura to the mix. There's only one other new character other than the homeless guy in this episode, and it's this Laura character who is very evasive when asked personal questions. Who only has an apple for lunch, devours Zach's chips when he offers her one, and he makes the quip, "Bet you can't eat just 50."
She's clearly emaciated.
Yeah, clearly. And we're supposed to be shocked by this cliffhanger at the
Her
end. Where
sweater
it's
is terrible.
like, oh, it's just it's awful.
It looks like it's from the 70s.
Yeah, it probably was. But like we're supposed to be shocked at the end, like Zack, Slater, and Screech, who all have their jaws dropped to the floor.
Yeah.
When she says, "Oh yeah, by the way." This only other new character introduced in this episode, who I clearly am related to, actually is my father.
Yeah, I think when I first saw this and I was like 12, I saw it coming. Everybody saw it coming.
Everybody saw it coming. There's like I hate trying to predict what's going to happen next in a television show or movie, but sometimes you just can't avoid it.
And that's the thing. And that's the point I was building toward this whole time, and is kind of my final summation. Like this whole episode directs us toward this twist of a moment. And then the only thing that we're left, like, okay, he's her dad. She's homeless. He's homeless. Boom. Who gives a fuck, right? Like, the only
Right.
thing that we're waiting to see is beyond, like, that's your fucking dad? That look on Zach's face.
Right.
To the next moment where, like, how's he going to respond? Does he still want to bang her? And the answer is, of course, yes, because she's human and she has the compatible parts with Zach's.
Right. The only problem is that in the morning, how is he going to get rid of her? She's going to be hanging around and be like, "So you want to get breakfast or whatever?"
And we don't even get to see that. I mean, clearly he brushes her to the curb and sends her
Absolutely.
packing
Yeah.
with some batteries. He's like, here's
But
your...
like that's the awkward moment when you're like, okay, I need to get rid of this girl. She's overstayed her welcome. I've already had it spew twice. How do I get this girl out of my house? How do I get her out of my bedroom? How do I put her on, like, because basically he's saying, hey, you know what? I've got to go run some errands.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Go
clear
back
that
to the street.
we don't know what Zach's capable of, but he could just call Child Protective Services or any variety of outlets to broom her out of there real quick. But
right, and he's going to have to. The end game here is not going to be pleasant for her.
But the end game for part 2, which we will get to next immediately after this, so please click through the next one, is it can't be good because it's just going to be more falling action. We've hit the climax, right?
Yeah, the climax are the main characters of the show that we're watching horrible, shitty, awful people.
And they are.
Yes.
I mean, right in the midst of doing something great for some children, they're like, "Oh, your dad's homeless." They all make these stupid looks on their face, like they watch someone get robbed.
Right, but if someone says, "Hey, by the way, I'm a person that you've gotten to know over the last day, and just to let you know, I'm homeless," there's only one reaction that a regular, sane, non-terrible person would make, and that is, "Oh."
Yeah. He does know where she
okay,
works,
yeah.
and he knows that he can employ Kelly, which all of his female friends eventually turn into his agents to help him.
It's kind of weird that Kelly's like, hyping him up.
Kelly's trying to help him get his dick wet. His mom is, and Jesse and Lisa clearly are at all
every
times.
single girl that Zach knows is trying to get Zach's dick wet.
That is like his
nonstop.
greatest power, is that he turns everybody in his life into like somebody that helps him get what he wants, which is more new puss.
Yeah.
So anyway, we should probably move on. We've been sitting here on the end credit, and we'll wrap it up right here and go right on to that. Thank you very much.
Word.